Hi. So I wanted to talk to you for a couple of minutes about the things that I'm likely to carry around with me when I'm out for the day on a trip in a city that I'm not familiar with. I want to talk to you about some of the things that I might carry with me and how I might organize those things so that I can prevent losing anything or having anything stolen, and also sort of keep an idea, a plan about how I'm going to approach things. So taking a look at some of the things that I have available that I'm going to typically carry, right? I might have some cash that I'm going to have on hand when I'm in the country that I'm visiting. In the local currency, in this case, these are euros. I've got a major credit card and a debit card that is a contactless pay, so I'll be able to use a chip to pay. I also go ahead and I set those cards up in my Apple Wallet so that if I don't want to walk around with those cards on me, I can lock them up in a safe in the Airbnb or in a hotel or wherever. And I can just use Apple Pay and tap to pay. And then if something happens to my phone, then I have the cards as a backup. I have a couple of forms of identification that I'm going to use. Primarily is my passport that you're really supposed to carry with you all the time at all times. In addition to the booklet passport, I do have a passport card, which is not good for international border crossings other than to Canada or I think to Mexico. But it is a valid form of national identification that identifies you as a US citizen. So it's actually not a bad thing to have on hand. I've got my primary health insurance card that I have in the US, which does provide me some international coverage. And then I also carry the international health insurance card for the policy that I purchased for my upcoming trip. I want to have these on hand. I also have the app downloaded on my phone so I can find a doctor or a medical facility, something like that. I also bring my driver's license in case something happens to another form of identification and I need to go to the consulate and get a replacement passport. Something happens to my passport, I need to get an emergency passport. I need to provide evidence of identification in order to process that emergency passport. And then finally, I have an international driving permit. I don't plan on driving, but there are car sharing apps and there's car rentals. And if there's an emergency and for some reason I do need to drive a vehicle, I want to be able to have that international driving permit in my possession, in case I need to use it. So let's talk about how I might carry around some of these things. Like, first off, I'm not going to carry a whole lot of cash if I can avoid it, right? If I have a home base in a hotel or an Airbnb or a hostel, I'm going to lock most of my cash up in a safe, right? Somewhere secure. And I'm only going to take with me what I need for the day, right? I'm only going to take say I'm going to go out for the day. What am I going to spend with cash that I'm not going to use my card for? I might go to a cafe. I might want to tip somebody. I might want to pay a taxi driver. I might go to a flea market or a farmer's market and they don't accept cards. They only take cash. I might want to use a public restroom that actually you have to pay to use. And so I want to have some cash. So I might grab a 20 euro note and have that on me. And then if something happens to that cash and it gets taken from me or I lose it, I'm not losing all my cash, right? This is different than if you're backpacking and you're traveling and you have to have all your cash on hand. That's different. But if I only am going to go out for the day, I only grab a little bit of cash to have it on hand because I'm not going to need more than that. Let's assume for a minute that I am going to carry my passport booklet with me wherever I go. In my case, I have it inside of a cover so that nothing happens to it. But I'm going to store my passport. I'm going to carry it on my person. To carry this around where I'm not going to need to get at it all the time, right? If I will sometimes carry a money belt. So this is a money belt that I picked up on Amazon. I think this was about 25 bucks. It's made of like a stretchy material, right? So if you can see here, I can take my passport and actually fit my passport inside of here, like this. Put my cards inside. I could also fit my phone in here if I wanted to, if I needed to in a pinch. And there you go. So then this stretches to hold this. And what I'll do is I'll put this around my waist. Here, I'll back up here. Put this around my waist like this, and I can wear it, under my shirt, like that. Come off to the side maybe a little bit. Might be a little bit hard to see. I can wear it inside my pants as a little added security. I can actually lace it through the belt loops on my trousers. So if somebody were to come up behind me and try to open the latch on it, it would get caught in my belt loop and they wouldn't be able to just take it off of me, right? It wouldn't just spring off of me. But it's pretty discreet and you can wear it even inside of your belt waistline under your pants and no one's gonna see that. So this is a good thing to have, especially if you're going to carry cash and you're not going to access that cash on a regular basis. You could have it in a belt, under your clothes, and that's going to make things easier. When I'm going out for the day, and I know that I want to have a bag with me, a lot of places that you're going to go are not going to let you carry a big backpack with you. So I picked up this little crossbody bag on Amazon. I can't remember what it set me back. It was just recently purchased. So just for scale, you can see it. If I wear it like this, I got a pouch here for my phone, and I've got this little packed backpack, and I can't fit a whole lot in it. I can maybe put a bottle of water in it. I can put some identification or whatever. I can put a snack in it, any paperwork that I need to have. One of the things you want to remember is that if I have sensitive documents, like my credit cards, my passport, my identification, I want to put that material, that identification, into a pocket that's going to rest against my body, like this. In this case, this has an RFID lining, so right. So these fit inside of here. It zips shut, and then when I'm wearing the bag like this, I can swing the bag in front of me and hold it against my body. And now my passport, my credit cards, my materials, the things that I need to travel are inside here against my body. And in order for somebody to take it from me, they would have to take the bag, right? I'm not talking about somebody who's robbing you. I'm talking about somebody who is opportunistically picking something out of your pocket or taking something out of your pocket because you aren't paying attention and you losing it in that sense, right? For the most part, somebody who's going to take something from you, they don't want to confront you about it. They just want to take it and get away from you, right? The final thing I want to talk about is maybe like an added piece of security that can happen with a bag like this. You can purchase a TSA approved lock that you would get on your luggage. In this case, here's a lock right here that's TSA approved. It's got a TSA master keyhole, so TSA can key into it if it was on your luggage. But look at how it has like this soft sort of hasp on it, right? It's a combination lock. What I can do is I can take the zipper handles on this bag and put them sort of close to each other and then thread them through the zipper handles. This. And then if I engage the lock, all of my zippers are not going to, in order for them to get open, somebody would have to break the lock, rip the bag, or they would have to just take the bag. That's a lot of work. And the goal here is not necessarily to be sort of hyper paranoid that someone's always trying to steal from you, but rather if you know yourself and you know that you could become easily distracted, I know I can, if I do something like this, if I organize my belongings in a logical way, then when I'm out and I'm doing my stuff, I'm traveling, I'm riding the bus, I'm going to a big, very crowded tourist attraction or a museum, or I'm in a cafe on the street or whatever, I don't have to constantly think about it, right? If I have this crossbody bag and things are behind zippers and there's a lock on it, or I know I have my passport and I have my cash and my credit cards in a belt that's under my pants, it's not gonna matter, right? It's sort of like I can stop worrying about it instead of gripping everything really close to me and being super nervous. So I hope this has really maybe been a little bit helpful as you're trying to figure out how to organize your things when you are planning your upcoming travel and how you're going to carry things around. Thanks for watching.